Hey, welcome back to another episode of Inquisitively Me. I'm Mary, a life coach, a mom, and someone who's, well, inquisitive. Today we are talking about personal development. Whether you're going through a breakup, navigating a transitional time, or simply looking to elevate your life, you're at the right place. We hear the term personal development, but what does that even really mean? It's an intentional and conscious pursuit of personal growth by increasing self awareness, improving upon our skills, developing new ones, and developing your potential overall. You are taking proactive steps to create the future you want, which can be really empowering because you are in control of your own development. It's about recognizing your worth, embracing your potential, and investing time and energy into becoming the best version of yourself you can be because you want to. Let's learn some techniques to help you do so. I want to start with a couple of things that I think are often overlooked: self reflection and mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present, allowing your thoughts and feelings to come through without judging them or judging yourself for having them. It can be a game changer. I know it was for me. I am a pretty anxious person, but once I started slowing down some, really seeing my thoughts as just thoughts, and not attaching a million and one meanings to my thoughts, I was able to reduce my stress and tackle challenges with a calmer and clearer mind. And honestly, being intentionally present has been the best thing I could have ever done. Forget the self help books, all the personal development techniques I will lay out in a bit. Yes, they're great, but if you're not able to be truly present, you may not be able to attain that best version of yourself. That may be a strong opinion, but the gift of being present is like no other. There's such a calm, a focus, and a happiness that comes with being really present, either alone or with others. Nothing else matters but that one thing you're doing. It really is quite amazing. I often ask my clients, think of one memory where you were so happy, so joyful, and it hasn't failed. It's those moments of being present where you have nothing else in mind but that moment. No past thoughts, no future thoughts, but enjoying the now. I know we can't have the most happy experiences every single minute of our lives, but if we can carry that intentional presence with the sacrifices, with the things that we have to do but don't really want to do, with the hard work, the challenges should be easier to tackle because our minds aren't so clouded and we aren't in as much of a stress mode. We can walk into challenges with a different attitude. Self reflection goes hand in hand with mindfulness because it's the practice of looking inward at our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You can do this by writing things out in a journal or simply taking the time to reflect in your head. Think about where you are, where you want to be. What are you doing today that is conducive to where you want to be? And perhaps what are some things you are doing that are not so conducive to your future goals? Reflecting doesn't need to be a daily practice, but I believe identifying those patterns in your behavior, really figuring out why you think or feel the way you do, figuring out what is blocking you from achieving the things you want is really important. And it will come in handy when setting clear intentions or goals, which is what I want to talk about next. When setting and achieving goals, I have found that setting SMART goals has been the most useful or helpful. You've probably heard of this before, but as a reminder, SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I want you to be clear or specific in what you are trying to attain. Instead of saying, I want to read more, I would switch that to, I want to read for 15 minutes 3 times a week. Measurable would be a goal that you can track your progress on. So scheduling the days you are reading, let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and then you check them off your to-do list as you complete it. Set goals you can achieve. Yes, we want to reach for the stars and aim big, but for many of us, it can be too big of a leap. We may end up disappointed or discouraged from continuing because we didn't get to the huge or possibly unrealistic goal we set for ourselves. I'm not going to set the goal of reading a 300-page book in a week if I know there's no way I can with the schedule and responsibilities I currently hold. You can always increase those goals for more time, in this example, with time. Goals being relevant means ensuring your goals align with what your life objectives are. If I want to have more of a calm morning, or to overall be more educated, or enter a fictional world through words, then reading more makes sense. But if I'm looking to do less because I already read a bunch at work, or I'm trying to read more because I see others include that in their day on Instagram and there isn't a true connection to the goal, then perhaps it's not a goal that's relevant to you. Relevance will help us stay on track with the goal because it's something we're actually tied to and really desiring. Setting a deadline to keep yourself accountable is also helpful and goes with your goals being time bound. Maybe the long term goal is reading a book a month or every other month, but keeping that in mind gives the ability to track where you are at. Once you set your SMART goals, you can then break them down into smaller steps. This allows them to not be so overwhelming and easier to achieve. I often see with clients this is a big missing piece. They set the goals flawlessly and they're still stuck as to how to begin and really build that momentum. To keep the book example, I would first figure out what type of book or genre I want to read, look up recommendations online or from friends, decide if I want a physical book or an audiobook, then purchase or borrow the book. Then I would figure out what day I'm starting it and put a timer on for the 15 minutes I am doing. It sounds silly, but that breakdown little by little may be what we need to actually begin. So break things down. So you created your goals. You are setting yourself up for success. And now what? I want you to focus on building an awesome support system. Things are generally easier when it's done with others. If you're trying to be a better person, a better husband, wife, daughter, son, friend, parent, etc., you want to surround yourself with individuals who uplift you, inspire you, make you want to be better, with people who are also trying to be better themselves daily. Having a community to turn to who are like-minded and committed to personal growth is invaluable. The exchange of ideas and resources with whatever you may need can really come in handy. Be intentional about the people you interact with and keep around. They can help or hinder you. This could be the people you already know, or establishing new connections through online groups in your interests or field. But having people encouraging you or keep you accountable helps you achieve what you are trying to attain. Before moving on, I want to let you know if you ever have a question you want me to answer on an episode or a topic you want me to cover, you are more than welcome to email me and you might just hear it on here. Email me at inquisitivelymepodcast@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at _inquisitivelym. I look forward to it. Now, when we are attempting to make changes, there will be obstacles we need to overcome. Fear of failing is a big one. We all experience it, especially when we're stepping out of our comfort zones. But remember, failing is part of the whole journey or experience. We're not aiming to fail, but there will be mess-ups. Don't allow the fear to stop your growth. Maybe it's the fear of a business not succeeding, or the fear of not getting into your dream master's or PhD program. You could choose to be afraid and not even try, and you know with 100% certainty that you will not reach that goal. Or you can at least try and have a chance. This ties into self-doubt, so let's take some time to talk about that. For many of us, it's easy to feel like we aren't good enough to grow, and if we really dig deep, perhaps a feeling or belief that we don't deserve to grow. Many factors lead to those beliefs, but know that you are absolutely worth every bit of growth and success. You are allowed to change your mind, allowed to change your lifestyle, allowed to have a different perspective, and allowed to be happy. If that voice of self-doubt comes in, remind yourself of all of your strengths, your progress, and your accomplishments. Yes, you have strengths. I know you do. You need to provide yourself evidence to invalidate that voice because it's not factual. So give it facts. Now, just like any other change you're trying to achieve, you need to be consistent. Generally speaking, you usually can't make one change one time and expect everlasting results. You need to integrate personal development in your daily life. It becomes part of you. These small and intentional actions will add up over time. You can begin by scheduling these small tasks in your day. I know my planner is my best friend. I have an online calendar breaking down my hours in the day, but I also carry a planner where all of these tasks go in. If I want to make sure I read, it's on my list. I want to make sure I train that day, it's on my list. I want to make sure I take my supplements and a green drink, it's on my list. It keeps me on track by checking them off as the day goes on. I don't know about you, but I don't have the best memory. I can remember visuals well, I'm pretty good with numbers, but small everyday tasks, I can be pretty forgetful, so I write them down, especially if they're new to my schedule. If lists work for you, then I would suggest it, but I know for some lists are useless and that's okay. Maybe it's a post-it reminder on your bathroom mirror, or you have a whiteboard in your kitchen, or a phone reminder. Whatever works to remind you, include these new elements into that reminder system, even if it seems like such a silly thing to remind yourself of. To integrate personal development into your life, you more than likely will have to reprioritize tasks. You would need to figure out what tasks contribute to your growth and get rid of or significantly lessen the ones that aren't. This could mean saying no to things that distract you from your goals or things that directly impede your growth. Remember what I mentioned earlier. You are allowed to change. You're allowed to change your lifestyle and perspective. And it's okay to set boundaries and prioritize you. If others around you aren't understanding of that, it's not your job to have them understand. They may be used to you being a certain type of way. It doesn't mean that has to be you forever. Show up for yourself and allow things to fall into place as they should. It will feel very new at first, but with consistency, you should get to a place where this all becomes a habit. Just like making your bed, brushing your teeth, or whatever foot you always put your socks on first, it all becomes a habit. Whether that's reading a chapter of a book, assuring you work out a specific amount of times a week, or practicing mindfulness through meditation or with mindful walking and biking. Continue to integrate these things in your life until they become second nature. I know change can be scary. You can feel unsure, but there is something yearning inside of you that wants to change, that wants to grow. You probably wouldn't have heard this episode otherwise. So try. You might as well, because not doing so, you know for a fact, will lead nowhere. Try unsure. Try fearfully. Try with the knowing that it takes time and with the knowing that it is possible. Not just possible, but truly possible for you. I encourage you to believe that. I think this is a good place to end. I really hope this episode provided you value. If it did, please like and give it a rating. That helps to make the podcast more visible to others and grow our Inquisitively Me community. To stay up to date with all of my episodes, the easiest way to do that is by following the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you're interested in applying for my coaching program, you're more than welcome to reach out to me through email or by visiting my website linked in the episode description. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Take care of yourself. Keep asking, keep wondering, keep being inquisitively you. Until next time.